start.
Yes.
For this room. And
Well, from the room, I think that's, it seems appropriate, eh?
Mr. Cox, the public knows you. You were the former president of EU Parliament. What is Mr. Cox doing today?
I'm here today in my role, which is a voluntary role, as President of the International European Movement, joined by colleagues from the European Movement of Slovenia, with a view to organising a conference here next year, in the early part of the year, to discuss the evolution and development of civil society organisations in this region. We are an old European civil society organisation, and we would like to bring some of our know-how and our interest in this subject to the wider region.
What's going to be the theme in the conference?
The theme of the conference will be to try to gather together some hundreds of representatives of civil society, primarily from the Western Balkans area, to discuss issues about how to professionalise what they do, to discuss issues of how they should relate to governments, and indeed how the governments perhaps should relate to them, to work on producing a resolution or a declaration, and to invite already during our conference political leaders from the region and from the European Commission to give their first response to the expressions of interest and need by this conference.
And this conference should be in Ljubljana next year or something like that?
We will be guided finally by our colleagues in Slovenia on the details. The conference certainly will be in Slovenia, most likely for all of its facilities and proximity to airport and so on, here in Ljubljana, and the technical details we need to work on between now and that time. But we are deeply encouraged by the very positive response that we've had from all of the governmental, non-governmental authorities here, and especially I should add a warm word of thanks to the Mayor of Ljubljana, who has shown a strong and extremely positive interest in supporting in any practical way that he can this particular initiative.
Okay, for the end, could you explain me, please, how did you become from a political function to a totally apolitical function?
Well, firstly, I left the European Parliament in 2004. I had been a member for 15 years. I had the privilege there to lead a political group and to lead the Parliament. It was my personal choice that I felt at that time I would step out of politics. I did not seek re-election. But my interest in Europe wasn't only because I was an elected politician. And so in year 2005 I was elected for a 3-year period to the presidency of the International European Movement. It is a civil society organisation. It is organised in 43 European states. We have 21 international member organisations. It kept my Europeanness and my interest in European affairs very much to the forefront of my own life, and making some small contribution to that, to a project that I believe in, that I think is good for individual states and good for what we can do together as Europeans.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.